Hello, and welcome back. I hope you had an opportunity to reflect further on the notes you developed as part of Session 1's Strategic Thinking Moments, and that you had a chance to incorporate some of these within your first action memo. These action memos will be helpful in tomorrow's online discussions. The format for today's session is similar to yesterday's. It will consist of freestanding modules that provide strategic thinking moments throughout, as well as the opportunity to prepare another action memo at the conclusion of the day. Yesterday's session focused on strategic thinking and crafting of strategies. In this session, we'll move forward to concepts relating to the implementation of the strategic planning process. Implementation is an action-oriented, a make-it-happen procedure. With implementation, you must develop competencies and capabilities to undertake the strategies you have chosen. You must provide employees and stakeholders with whatever tools you have at your disposal, such as corporate resources, budgeting, policy making, motivation, culture building, and leadership, in order to ensure that the implementation of your strategy will be successful. I cannot emphasize enough how critical good execution is to the success of your business. Most CEOs fail because of bad execution. This was a conclusion reached by Sharon and Colvin, who studied CEOs' failure. Their article, Why CEOs Fail, first appeared in Fortune magazine and is included in the reference materials as part of this CD. You might find an opportunity later to review it. You may be asking yourself, what does bad execution look like? On a day-to-day basis, bad execution means not getting things done, being indecisive, and not delivering on commitments. So what steps can you take to ensure successful implementation of the strategic planning process? Why don't we go inside and discuss this further over lunch? Hello. I think there's something wrong with this menu. You have fish but no chips, you have ham but no cheese, and your BLT is just a BL. Could you please find out what's going on here? Thank you. There are some things in life that go together. They complement each other. To have one without the other is simply a travesty. It can be just the same in business.
Business language is full of military metaphors and cliches, such as capturing the market or making a killing. Cooperation is a term not usually associated with commerce. However, the changing nature of business has forced entrepreneurs to recognize the need for a balance between competition and cooperation. There are two approaches we can consider as illustrative of a cooperative approach. And here is a new word for you: coopetition and partnerships. Coopetition was identified in a book by Adam Brandenburg and Barry Nailbuff. They clearly describe the concept of cooperation, or, as they term, coopetition between businesses. According to Brandenburg and Nailbuff, in the new business model of cooperation, coopetition seeks to provide complementary products and services. That is, a good or a service that makes other goods and services more attractive to the consumer. Computer hardware and software products are complementary, as are hot dogs and mustard, cars and car loans, cable television and TV guide, the internet and high-capacity digital phone lines. These are products and services that complement one another. When businesses enter new markets, attention to complementary firms and organizations is critical. Without key complements, the market may never take off. In established markets, attention to complements is less dramatic, but still can provide your business with increased value if you can make your complementary product or service more attractive to the consumer. Old model business strategies largely focused on the competition. The ongoing battle between Coke and Pepsi is a classic example. This undermines the notion of complement. There isn't even a word to describe the providers of complementary products. So once again, Brandenburg and Nelbuff have created one, the complementor, the natural counterpart to competitor. You probably know a lot about your competition. What do you know about your complementors? Do you even know who your complementors are? Even a great product can sit on a shelf unless key complements are accessible to the consumer. Consumers may not see the value of a product that meets one aspect of their need without the availability of complements which act to ensure that all aspects of the need are met. You have to work cooperatively with others to ensure that the complements exist in a way that best addresses consumer needs, or create a complement yourself. The high-tech sector, by necessity, cooperates in developing complementary products and services. Intel, one of the world's leading computer chip manufacturer, understands this and sets an example for every business. The company's engineers continually develop more powerful computer chips. The computer chip is a very small but critical part of a large system. Staying ahead of the competition is not enough. Intel must be in sync with advances made by the producers of larger systems and their components in order to ensure market demand for the next generation of computer chips. Similarly, they're quick to recognize the opportunities in technology that drives industry. So Intel constantly is on the outlook for complementors. For example, it has developed a partnership with MCI to provide increased bandwidth for networks, ensuring a stage on which the powerful chip can perform. It is also working with computer game developers to create a complex interactive web-based games on the web that will need the latest Intel computer chip to operate. Intel is even venturing beyond the computer industry to ensure that other complementors, such as ProShare, a company that develops video phone products, are successful. Intel has invested over $100 million in ProShare. Why? As a desktop video conference grows, upgrading to Intel's latest chip becomes a necessity, not a luxury. Let's look at the automotive industry for a moment. At the turn of the century, the car was a technological revolution. The value of the car and the demand for its use was severely limited by the lack of essential complementary products such as roads, gas stations, and mechanics. The fledgling automakers did not leave the development of these markets to chance. They work with complementors, such as the Canadian Automobile Association, in promoting highway construction. Some complementors to the automobile, such as banks and financial institutions, already existed to provide car loans. Credit managers at dealers will arrange bank financing when you buy your car. They'll work directly with the banks on your behalf. When you become a complementary business, you must consider the return on investment from two different points of view. The profitability of the two complementors cannot be viewed in isolation, nor can you expect only one complementer to be profitable. The question you should ask yourself is whether or not you are maximizing the combined profitability of the two complementary businesses. For example, subsidizing ProShare makes sense for Intel because the future increased sales of Intel computer chips will more than make up for any losses associated with ProShare. Managing complements is part of a new smart way of doing business, one with endless possibilities. Starbucks and bookstores, Triple O, White Spot, being part of gas station chains, Tim Horton Donuts and gas station chains, the post office outlets at the 7-Elevens are examples of complementors combining and exploiting the advantages of synergy. Listen now, if you will, once again to Bev Burke of Quilted Treasuries Gallery in Kelowna as she shares her experience.
As soon as I decided to expand my store, I found out there was another lady in town that had way more money than I did and started a beautiful new quilting store. So then I had to decide that, as competition, how was I going to work around this? So I made the decision to change everything. Instead of focusing as a fabric store, I would focus more on my service, which is the quilting service. and went to the other stores and introduced myself, and they carry my cards in their store, and I carry their business cards in my store, and we have actually worked on trying to get a map made where showing the location of all 3 quilting stores. And because I don't really carry a lot of my own fabric, I'm not direct competition to these ladies, and we just work really well together.
Partnerships require a critical assessment of business concepts such as strategic implications, motivation, trust, performance, conflict resolution, and the acquisition of knowledge and information that is integral to the implementation of new strategies. Without a critical assessment of a partnership, chances are it will not survive. First, you must develop new ways to measure your success that are distinct from the traditional models of measurement. Again, neither party can view success in isolation. The spirit of cooperation is essential. New methods of measuring success in partnerships include the level of trust that has or hasn't been developed between you and your partner, the level of mutual commitment, and the benefits of the partnership that can accrue to each partner. STM. Reflect for a moment on the business you are in. While doing this, let the creative side of you have free rein. Do not evaluate the merits of your suggestions, but think of the possible key complementers and co-opetition and the euphoric possibilities of synergy producing partnerships for your enterprise. Jot down some possibilities for your